Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Andrew. I figured because there's a lot to talk about today, I would turn it into a Coffee Thoughts episode. I have my big mug of coffee here. 99% coffee, 1% cream. I have to be careful, although it is pretty early, so I can probably get away with it today. So yeah, grab a cup of coffee and come join me. It doesn't have to be coffee. You can grab some tea or even just grab a drink of water. Most people do not drink enough water in a day. I don't know what the amount is for women. I know for men it's like 3.7 liters of water a day, which most people aren't even close to drinking that amount. So yeah, just grab a drink and come join me and watch this video. So a lot to talk about, and unfortunately most of it is bad news. Go figure. I mean, it happens, but it kind of sucks. So I'll start with this. There's this way, if you only want to hear this, you could just hear this and then you can go. Fair enough. I get it. Time is precious. I'm going to be talking about that too. So I'm going to be scaling back on my channel for the next 1 to 2 months. I'm not exactly sure how long it's going to be. It's going to be a minimum of 1 month, maximum of 2 months. I'm going to be pre-recording all of my videos. I'm doing that today, and yes, actually, I'm filming this today. On the day that I'm going to be releasing it, it's already past the time that I'm supposed to release it. Oh well, it happens. And yeah, so today, tomorrow, the next day, I'm going to be filming stuff for the next 2 months, and I'm going to be releasing 1 video a week on Mondays. It's going to be a whole bunch of different topics. They're going to be one-offs, and yeah, so I have those, or I'm filming those, and I won't be here to respond to comments if you leave any. I'm going to be very, very busy in the next little while. Yeah, so that's going to be it. Now, well, whenever I come back within that 1 to 2 month period, I am going to do something very interesting when I get back. I'm going to do a topic. I'm going to be talking about a topic that is incredibly controversial, and my thoughts and opinions are going to piss a lot of people off, and I'm going to enjoy doing it. So stay tuned for that. I'll let you know when I'm back. I'll probably let you know about a week or 2 before I start releasing that, and yeah. So if that's all you needed to see, by all means, you can leave now. No big deal. No skin off my back. So for those of you who stay and want to hear why this is happening, unfortunately, like I said, it's not good news. I actually had a video that I was going to release talking about this today, but I watched it back, and I'd been debating for the last couple of days, and I actually decided last night at about 4 in the morning, no, I'm not going to release that video. The reason being is, well, I skirted a lot of the things that I'm going to be talking about in this one, basically. I didn't give a lot of detail. I'm not going to go into huge amounts of detail, but I'm going to go into more detail here. And the reason for that, I don't know. I'm new to this whole game. I don't know how people respond to things on YouTube. I think it depends on the day. I wouldn't be surprised if it depends on the day of the week, let alone everyone else. Anything else, I should say. But I don't know, like maybe if I just didn't even include this and just started scaling back, you guys wouldn't even, oh, okay, this is what we're doing now. But I told myself, basically, when I decided to do this, part of the challenge was going to be 100% honest. Be honest about how I'm feeling, be honest about how I'm doing, be honest with my opinions, 100% honest. If people didn't like my opinions, so be it. They're my opinions, and I'm gonna speak them. I have that right, at least for now, and so I'm going to do it. And so, and the other reason I hesitated was because it's really not my news. Although I'm affected by it, this news is actually surrounding two members of my family. And so I was kind of more hesitant to talk about it because it's their news and not mine. I don't think either of them would be bothered by me talking about it on here, though. So, well, let's get it over with. Let's rip the Band-Aid, as it were. So, first of all, my grandfather. Just to give you a brief rundown, my grandfather is 95 years old. He's turning 96 in December, which is amazing. He's had a crazy life. You should hear some of the stories of what he got up to as a youth, and his time in the army and stuff like that. It's amazing, his stories. But he was diagnosed 3.5 years ago with leukemia. Now, they don't know how long he's had the leukemia before that. That's when he got diagnosed with it. It was incidental, actually. He was going for blood tests, and they found something that kind of showed that it was likely that he had leukemia, and so they did a couple other tests, and sure enough, he has leukemia. Now, they told him at the time that he had 6 months to live. That was 3.5 years ago. He's still alive and kicking. Now, I think part of that has to do with his stubborn nature. He's a very stubborn man, a very proud, stubborn man. But that's what's got him this far, and you can't fault him for that. But as of recently, within the last couple of months, we've really seen him slide very, very far physically, and it's likely that he doesn't have very long to go. Now, he claims he's going to live to 96 because that's how long his father lived for, and so who knows? He's probably stubborn enough that he'll pull it off and then be like, "I told you so," and then the next day just be done. Self-fulfilling prophecy, as it were. But yeah, he is going through it pretty rough, and he's showing a lot of signs and symptoms of the leukemia spreading all throughout his body. No way of knowing exactly how long he has, but not long. Months at most. I've been very lucky. I've spent as much time as I can with him as it is, and I've gotten 3 extra years that I thought I was going to have with him. So I'm glad for that. He is actually the main reason I have to step away from this channel and scale everything back. I'm going to be helping. He needs a lot of care right now, and he's not getting it. Well, I shouldn't say it like that. That sounds like people are neglecting him, and they're not. It's just he does need a lot of care, and he needs as many people helping as possible. And I'm going to step in, and I'm going to be helping for the next couple of months. And just that's why I'm stepping away, essentially. So that's the main reason. There is a secondary reason as well, actually. My father was just recently diagnosed with pulmonary fibrosis. Oh boy, that's a fun one. If you ever want to be terrified, Google it. It's not nice. If you don't know, pulmonary fibrosis is scarring that grows in the lungs, and basically it doesn't stop growing. It eventually overtakes and basically fills the entire lung with scar tissue, and you can't breathe. And well, we need lungs to survive, and eventually it is 100% fatal. There's no cure for it. The only way that it's not 100% fatal is if you get a lung transplant. Unfortunately, my father is likely not going to qualify for that, and so it is what it is. Generally speaking, he has to go, I believe, for more tests, but generally speaking, people who are diagnosed with it generally have 2 to 5 years after they're diagnosed, and that's how long it takes for the scarring to progress. It's, in my opinion, one of the more brutal ways to go. You're constantly out of breath, you have trouble breathing, you're coughing. He has a wicked cough. You would swear he was, he's dying from it, but we've known something was up with his lungs for a while now, because he had a telltale cough that something was wrong. But he kept being diagnosed with pneumonia because there was some fluid on his lung as a side effect of the scarring, and for whatever reason the scarring, they didn't see the scarring when they took the x-rays, so they kept diagnosing it as pneumonia. The reason I was a little suspect of that is he was being given crazy antibiotics and it wasn't doing anything, and I'm like, there's something else going on here. I hoped it was, not this. I was worried it was bad. This is like one of the worst it could be. So he's not one that's going to share how he's feeling. However, it feels like he's not dealing with this, and although it is fatal, there are some things you can do to make your life as comfortable as possible, and really he should be starting to do that, and I from what I've heard, he hasn't. So while I'm there, I'm going to be secondarily kind of trying to help him get through what he's going through and help him with doing some of these exercises. And it seems like it's always something. I personally, I was in a much rougher state after I heard this. It's been about a month. I've been dealing with this about a month. I didn't want to talk about it before I had processed it, and I also had to make a couple decisions in my mind as to what I was going to do. Not just about the channel, but about helping my grandfather, helping my father, how active a role. There's some family history that comes to play into all of this that I'm not going to get into. This isn't the time or the place. But there are some issues with other individuals in the family, and I always have to protect myself when dealing with this, because they, if I let my guard down, that's when they tend to jump in and try and take advantage. We've created a truce, as it was, between me and them. However, they will, if they need to, they would break the truce in a second to gain advantage. I will put it this way: I'm not going to be the one to break it. So yeah, there's a lot of history there. So yeah, I've noticed my stress been a lot higher this month. I'm getting anxiety dreams. I get really weird, wonky anxiety dreams. I actually I've been sleepwalking more too, which is an anxiety thing as well. But yeah, my health is slipping a bit, so that'll be another good reason as to film these in advance, put them up, and just deal with what I'm dealing with. Not to say I haven't been. I have been processing all of this. I have been doing it as healthfully as I can. I'm not going to, cry in front of you guys, but I have cried multiple times over all of this. Yeah, so it's been hard, but I'm getting through it. It's sad to say, but I've had way worse news from way more people than this in a way shorter time frame before, so I've been able to learn how to deal with a lot and just be able to take it all in all at once, but slowly work on it over time, and untie that crazy knot. So yeah, I guess just as an ending, you never know how long you have with the people you love. You could go out tomorrow and be hit by a bus, or unfortunately people could drop dead of an aneurysm, and you'll never know it until it happens. I know up until my grandfather was actually diagnosed with leukemia, I would always be like, well, I could go visit him next week, I've seen him a lot, but you never know how long you have, and those 3.5 years that I've had with him have been great, but maybe go visit someone. Maybe go visit a loved one that you haven't seen in a while. Or if you can't visit them, give them a call. Just talk to them, because you never know. Our time on this earth is very, very fleeting, and you never know. Maybe give a family member a hug next time you see him. I hope you have a good day, and when I'm back, I will see you in the next one. Like I said, it's going to be controversial, it's going to piss people off, and oh boy, I'm going to love that. See you then. Bye-bye.